Welcome back to Weeknight Meals with Catherine. Today we are making pumpkin soup. I know it sounds a little odd, but actually it's really good. And first we start with sauteing a diced onion. Ooh, nice and hot. Careful. Okay, as you can see, the oil is a little hot right now, so just be careful when you're heating up your oil. And that is 2 tablespoons of any oil you want. And you're really just getting this soft, because eventually we will puree this soup so it's nice and creamy. But that is an option. It's not a need. If you want to leave the soup a little chunky with the onions and the garlic, that's definitely okay. But I like it soft and creamy. So we will saute these onions up, and after they get a little soft, we will add some garlic. I'm going to add a little salt to help speed this along. And you're supposed to add salt with every layer, as they tell you. So, get this stirred in. You want to keep your stove on kind of a medium and let that simmer for a little while. For the pumpkin, we use just a regular can of pumpkin. Make sure you do not get the seasoned kind. You want the plain kind. In this recipe, I use a small can versus the large can. That will go in a little later. Okay, those are cooking away nicely. You want to start your onions a little sooner than the garlic. Sometimes garlic has a tendency to burn, and that is not what you want in this case, because burned garlic is gross. Okay, this is 2 to 3 diced garlic cloves. If you have really big garlic cloves, you can just use 2. If you have small ones, you can use 3. And if you don't want garlic at all, you don't have to have garlic. But it does add to the flavor, and everything I make pretty much has garlic in it. You can ask my family. So we're going to let that cook for a while. And when those get cooked down, we will be adding our curry powder and our pumpkin puree when we come back. Thanks. Okay, after we've cooked down the onions and garlic clove, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of curry powder. We're going to let that cook in the oil and onion to get the raw powdered flavor off. Oh, that's such a wonderful smell. While that's going, we're going to put in our can of pumpkin. Just regular can. Just pour that in. And then, along with the pumpkin, we're going to add our liquid. I use chicken broth. If you really wanted to keep this vegetarian, you could use vegetable broth. There's our pumpkin puree, and we're just going to add whole box of chicken broth. You can easily rinse out your pumpkin can with this. You don't have to. Just pour that in. We use a whole can. This is 4 cups. It will cook down, so you can add and delete as needed. Let's put this one in. Waste not, want not, as the phrase goes. Okay. We're going to break this up because the puree gets a little lumpy. And then this is going to sit and simmer. You want the pumpkin flavor cooked. You don't want that raw pumpkin flavor. So you want to make sure that it doesn't stick to the pan. So this is on about a medium. And this is just going to cook for another 20 minutes. When we come back, we'll blend it up and then add the coconut milk. Thanks. Yes. Okay, so we are back. This is the tricky part. We are going to blend this. If you don't want to, you don't have to. The trick with blending it is it does make another dirty pan because you have to put it in the blender and then you have to put it in another pan because you have to blend in batches, because it's never a good idea to try and blend all of something hot at one time because it can go everywhere, and that's not safe. So we're going to do this in batches. I'm going to do one more scoop. Let's make sure I get this in here properly. There we go. Okay, take a towel, cover it just in case, and here we go. See, it's when you pour it in here, it's nice and creamy. And if you don't have a blender, I've actually strained it. There have been times I didn't have a blender and I made this, and I just took a fine mesh strainer and strained out the onions because my son doesn't like the onions, so we just pretended they weren't there. Okay. And at this point we had add half a can of coconut milk. You can leave this out if you want. You can use light coconut milk. Kind of test it by weight. Stir it in. You just lighten it up a little bit. It does make it nice and creamy. Yum, yum. Alrighty. And that's pretty much it. We're going to get this in a bowl and try a little taste. If at this point you taste it and it's too spicy, you can always add a little bit more coconut milk. You can also add salt and pepper at this point to taste as you see fit. Perfect.